this is part 2 of, and I already forgot the number, this is part 2 of chat number 164, Take the Blue Dot Challenge. So we spent the whole first half talking about how to earn a blue dot, what a blue dot means, and whether or not you have to get one. Okay, and I think everybody's on the same page about that, so I think we're all good with that. Part 2 is something super fun. So we made all things riced cauliflower last week. This week, it's all things 2-ingredient dough. So I've been getting bombarded by 2-ingredient dough recipes again, or people asking me if I've tried them, or people asking me if I have them, or whatever. If you don't know what 2-ingredient dough is, I'm just gonna giggle. I mean, I can't help it. It's never just 2 ingredients. It's never, ever, ever just 2 ingredients. So it makes me laugh. I understand the base for it is just 2 ingredients, but it just makes me giggle because I see, and I even named mine 2-ingredient dough. But it's not just 2 ingredients. So the premise behind 2-ingredient dough is it is self-rising flour, and you can use regular self-rising flour, you can use self-rising pastry flour, you can use whole wheat self-rising flour, but it needs to be self-rising flour. If it's not self-rising flour, don't know what happens. Never tried it without self-rising. I've never tried it without self-rising flour and then adding what you need to make it rise. Okay, and my sister, if she could hear me right now, would just be going, ugh, because she's a pastry chef. So anyway, yeah, she would be just like flipping out if she could hear me. Okay, so the premise is it starts with self-rising flour, whatever kind of self-rising flour that is, and Greek yogurt. So don't know if it works with regular yogurt. I've only ever done it with Greek yogurt. So I use self-rising flour and non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Okay, so we're going to make one and get it going. We're going to get it going and cooking while I show you the rest of them. But let me show you this first. So we're going to start with the pan that comes with your Simple Living Products air fryer. So if you have a different brand of an air fryer, you just need, for what we're making tonight, you just need to get, hold on, my notebook being there's not working. You just need to get some kind of a little pan that is safe for your air fryer, is safe to be used in an air fryer. This is the one that came with my Simple Living Products air fryer. So that air fryer right there, this is one of the little pans. It comes with a fatter one too. So what we're going to make today, these are all pan pizzas. Who doesn't love a good pan pizza? Okay, so what we're going to make, what we're going to put in right now, and I'll show you the others that I made, is we're just going to make some cheesy garlicky bread. So I'm going to use my Evo sprayer, my little Evo sprayer, y'all know that, and I'm just going to lightly spray the bottom of the pan. So the bottom of the pan that came with my Simple Living Products air fryer. And again, if you don't have one of those, you just need to get a pan that is safe for your air fryer. Okay, then we're going to take, this is a half of a cup. So this is for one, okay? So it's for one that's this size pan. And you can see I've been making a lot of these because I've got flour all over it. But so for this size pan, and to make one of these, and this is actually like 2 to 4 servings when you get done with it. So this is a half of a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. And I always feel all Martha Stewart-ishy, or maybe Rachel Ray or something, when I use my little glass bowls that I got for measuring things. And then you're going to add to it, it's just a touch over a half of a cup of the self-rising flour. So it's just a tad over a half of a cup. So it's not, for this, it's not exactly, a lot of the recipes are exactly half and half, like exactly, you know, half a cup and half a cup, or exactly a cup and a cup, or, you know, whatever the recipe calls for. This one, because you want it to form a dough ball, you're going to use, again, for one pan, you're going to use a half a cup of Greek yogurt and just barely over a half of a cup of the flour. Okay, and it's going to make it into a very sticky dough ball. So I also have just a little bit of the the self-rising flour to put on my hands so that it doesn't stick to it. Okay. Oh no, Haley said her air fryer died. Oh, Haley, that's so sad. Go to the website. Go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. Oh, Tedders is here. Hello. Go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and we have a link. Hey Angie, we have a link for the Simple Living Products air fryer there. So it's going to make a sticky dough ball. So everybody can see this, right? It's like the size of a softball, I guess. Okay, so it's going to make a big sticky ball. Let me get rid of this. So I'm going to put my big sticky ball down in my pan, and then I'm going to get a little bit more of the self-rising flour. And again, I'm going to put that on my hands just to keep them from sticking. Hello, Jackie. I'm going to put them on my hands just to keep it from sticking, and I'm just pressing it down into the pan. So by the time I get done, this will be all neatly pressed down in here. I'm going to get a little bit more of the flour. And it really, when I do this, when I was doing this before, I was, talking to you all, because I was working in a bigger space and not trying to do this live, I didn't end up with so much of it on my hands. But anyway, okay, so I've ended up with so much on here, I'm actually going to have to wash my hands real quick. But it'll look like, once you get it all pushed down in here, and don't panic when you see other stuff in the dough. It's because I've been making, this is the 4th one of these that I've made in 2 hours. So yeah, so some of the stuff from my others is still on here. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have the dough in the bottom of the pan. So it's going to look like, yeah, and Carol, I know, well, it's because I couldn't, because I was talking to y'all and touching my phone. But anyway, so it's going to look like a pan pizza should in the bottom of a tray, like if you ordered one from, Pizza Hut or somewhere. Okay, let me rinse off my hands real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, and because I was just trying to get 2-ingredient dough off my hands and not save myself from coronavirus, I didn't sing happy birthday twice. Okay, but so for this one, we're going to respray it lightly, again with olive oil spray that I have in my Evo sprayer, and you can find those on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com too. So now I have my 2-ingredient dough is nicely patted down in here. I'm going to use, and I got a brand new jar, so it's hard to get open, or brand new container or whatever. So I'm going to use some Bragg nutritional yeast. I'm going to sprinkle that on there. It's about 2 tablespoons for the whole thing. And this is about 1/4 cup of different kinds of cheese. And I'll just have to let you know later how many points all this stuff is, because we're going to have to fly. We're going to have to fly through this. And then to give it a nice flavor, a lot of you all like to use the everything but the salt seasoning for your bagels. So a lot of y'all that are making the 2-ingredient dough bagels use that. The Dax, everything but the salt spice is exactly the same thing, except it has no salt. So it has in it, oops, hold on. So it has in it minced onion, minced garlic, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, black sesame seeds, black pepper, and red pepper flakes. So this is really yummy for things like this. Yeah, and Angie, you know what the Braggs taste like. It tastes like Parmesan and Panko had a baby, and you know that. Okay, so we're going to just put a little bit of that on here. And if you need any of the Bragg seasoning, we have it over on CaseyKitchenCenter.com. You can get it over there. So I'm going to sprinkle that on there. So now we have this with a little bit of schmutz on it. So now we have this, and we're going to put it in the basket. So I'm just going to set it down, just set it straight down in the basket. Don't put anything else underneath it. Leave the basket in though. Do not set it. Yeah, I missed you too, Angie. Don't set this directly on the bottom. Leave the basket in. Okay, and then we're going to put it in, and remember to scoop. Scoop, don't force it. And we're going to put it on 380 for 10 minutes. Okay. So we're going to put it on 380 for 10 minutes, and we're going to check it in a few minutes because I have had, since I've cooked so much, it's already warm. Okay, Vicki, the recipe for the dough is equal amounts of non-fat Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. And Margie wants to know where to get the Bragg seasoning. So if you don't have it at a store, we do not have it at some stores here in Knoxville. I have found it at, well, the Publix that I shop at. Finally got it. Finally. I mean, it's taken them forever. But you can get it online. You can get it at, here in Knoxville, we have it at Kroger. We do have it at Ingles. If you're from Knoxville, Food City does have it sometimes. Angie says Meyer has it. You can get it online if you go to, what? It's on your shirt, the flour. Oh well. Maybe we should have aprons made that say hello and happy Sunday. Maybe I should do that. Okay, anyway, but if you go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and go to the shopping section, I think, under the recommendations, you can find it there. So that has a direct link to Amazon for this. But anyway, I love it. I use it on everything. I just finished a container, had to get another one. Yeah, Trader Joe's does have it. Claudia just reminded me that Trader Joe's does have it. But anyway, so the recipe is equal amounts for whatever 2 ingredient dough things you're making. It's equal amounts of non-fat plain Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. On some of the things that you're going to make, you might have to add just a tiny bit more flour because you have to be able to, touch them, knead them, whatever, and being able to put it on my hands there. So, okay, but a couple of the other things that I made, because we only have 16 minutes to talk about them. So a couple of the other things that I made, let me just say this disclaimer. So this is like I hesitate to call it a personal pan pizza, if y'all know what a personal pan pizza is, because the points would be, let me think, I don't know, you could do it if you had several points left for the day. So if you ate the whole thing, it'd be like 12 to 15 points probably, and I'll figure it out when I post the recipes. And the recipes will someday be posted on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. But for the most part, we were going to split them. So we're just going to split them in two, to either have them with a salad, or something else. But because they're thick, because I'm making these thick, like a pan pizza, they're doughy. I mean, this is 2 ingredient dough, so they're doughy, and they're, it's kind of soft. So sometimes you have to eat them with a fork if you put a lot of stuff on them, and I like a lot of stuff on them. So the first thing that I made was pizza that John has already eaten a slice out of, but it was okay because I asked him to try it. And so this one, okay, I'm sorry, Janice says, hi there, Bragg Nutritional Yeast. Why do you use it for flavor nutrition? How many points on green? So it is 0 points for 1 tablespoon on blue, green, and purple. It tastes like panko and Parmesan had a baby. So if you know what panko crumbs are, and I'm sure everybody knows what Parmesan cheese is, it tastes like they had a baby. It's absolutely delicious. My mother got me started eating it years ago when she was still able to cook, because she was vegan and she used it as a nutritional supplement. So it's chock full of all kinds of B vitamins, and it does have some protein. Okay, but I use it for flavor now. I use it for flavor, and I have low iron. And I'm showing you my hand because, as if y'all know what that means, but I'm showing y'all my hand because if I don't get enough iron, my fingers turn black. And you can see I've been eating my Braggs every day, and my fingers are fine right now. So I use it for flavor and for iron, but it has lots of other good benefits. So this was the 2 ingredient dough like we're making right now. I went ahead and put everything on top of it. Oh yes, and Angie's exactly right. It's great on corn on the cob, and Vicky's exactly right. It's so good in grits. It's good on popcorn too. But this is everything that we just talked about, and then I added a fresh mix of greens that they had at Ingles this week, and it was snow pea greens, and they were so cute. But that's why they're little bitty, and they weren't quite as sturdy as the spinach or arugula that I normally use. So yeah, they didn't quite survive as well, but they're delicious though. I took a bite of John's. So it has that on it, and it's got some the little tiny mozzarella balls. It's got 3 of those divided up over there. It has fresh tomatoes, fresh little Roma tomatoes on there. And Rita, you need some Bragg nutritional yeast then. And Betty, yes, popcorn. A little bit of turkey bacon, like overcooked turkey bacon, because you want it to be crisp. And let me think, did I have anything else? And the Bragg nutritional yeast. So this one, I'm going to show you the bottom of it. So this one I cooked on 380 for 10 minutes, and then you have to kind of let it cool before you eat it, or you have to eat it with a fork, because see, it's going to be a little bit soft. It's going to be a little bit soft on the bottom. But let's go ahead and try this one. So I know this is delicious because I took a bite of John's. Let me get some with not so many greens so I don't get it in my teeth. Well, so much for not getting it in my teeth. It's yummy. It's thick. It's delicious. It's good even cold. Okay. So Loretta, I don't know. I didn't figure it out before I started eating it, but it's, if you ate the whole thing, so Loretta wants to know how many points it is. If you ate the whole thing, the flour that's in this, let's see, the flour that's in this for the whole thing would be 6 points. For me, well, all of us, 6 points for that flour. The plain non-fat Greek yogurt for me would be 1 point because I'm on green if I ate the whole thing. And then it's got a piece and a half of turkey bacon, the cheese. So let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do some quick math here. Quick math, because I've got 3 other things to show you all. And remember, if you add your food, if you add it to your recipe builder, then you can look it up really quickly. Okay, so I think for all of us, a half of a cup of white self-rising flour is 6 points, okay? And Loretta says, can we say 0 for the whole thing? No, we cannot. We cannot. And Haley says, if I was eating on video, I would not even think of getting it in my teeth. Trust me. So we've got, for the whole thing, we've got 6 points in flour. We've got, for me, because I'm on green, I have 1 point of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt in the whole thing. So that's 7. And then I have, let's see, 7, 8 for the bacon, 9, 10, 11 for the cheese. And that's it. So that'd be 11 divided by 2. Ooh, Debbie says she's cooked hers on parchment paper and not using a pan, and that way it was more crispy on the bottom. You could also do that. I'm making mine into pan pizzas. You can cook them in the oven too. You don't have to cook them in an air fryer, but you can cook them in the oven. So that would be 11 for the whole thing. So half of it would be like 5.5, so 6. So 6 for half of this. So I was right on the money because I said about 12. I kind of guessed 12. So Tedder says, I love thin crust. So Tedder's, what you would do is either do half of this. You could do half of this, or if you want to roll it out, so if you wanted to put it on some parchment paper or something and use a little bit more of the flour and roll it out really thin, you could set it directly on the grid on your air fryer, or you could put it on some parchment paper and you could cook it in the oven, and that would make it a crisper crust. Okay, so that was the first one. The second thing I made, and can you see the bite that's already taken out of it? I'm going to take another bite. So, and Angie says, hey, Barbie, I bet it would be, and the Barbie is a whole that has nothing to do with my name. That's a whole joke between me and Angie. Okay. I bet it would great flavor to the pizza dough if you added Bragg's to it while mixing it. Yeah, it probably would, because it would taste like Parmesan and Panko had a baby. So this one I already took a bite out of because I had to taste it. I had to go ahead and taste it. This one is going to be more. So this is going to be more points, because this one is a dessert one. So again, I'll figure it up later, but I'm thinking it's going to be like 12 to 14 points if you ate the whole thing. But I cut this one into 4s with the pizza cutter because this is a dessert pizza. Probably should be 1 order. And yes, Rita, it is a dessert pizza. So this one I made so that y'all can see what the 2-ingredient dough looks like without all the other stuff on top of it. So this one, same exact 2-ingredient dough recipe. I did it exactly the same way. I put coconut spray in my pan instead of using the olive oil spray because I wanted it to be sweet. And then I melted 1 tablespoon of light butter, and I melted it, spread it over here, and I spread it evenly so it's even all over this. But I wanted butter. I wanted it to be a decadent. Check it. Well, that looks perfect. So we're gonna let that cool off a little bit. I wanted this to be a decadent dessert. So what is that one called? Betty, I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't named it yet. But it'll be at someday it'll be on the blog. But anyway, then it has 2 teaspoons of Truvia baking blend and cinnamon, and then this is about 2 teaspoons of sugar cookie icing. Okay, so you have to be careful though with the sugar cookie icing because I just want to eat it, but because I love sugar cookie icing. But anyway, so you put that on there. And this one though, because it doesn't have all the other stuff on it, this one I baked on 360 for 10 minutes. 360 for 10 minutes. And I don't know, Angie, I'll have to try. Let's see. So I'm going to taste it again. I'm going to pretend like I haven't tasted this yet. So yeah, I'm gonna have to package these separately or I'm gonna eat all 4 of them. But this is like, it's like a soft scone or like a fluffy shortbread cookie maybe. Yeah, Betty cinnamon bun, that would be a good one. But so light and so yummy and literally so easy to make. Okay, so that was the second one. The third one I haven't tried and I haven't cut into yet. This one is a Hawaiian pizza one. So exactly the same. I made it exactly the same, but because I was going to be putting 2 wet ingredients on this one, I cooked it on 380 for 5 minutes before I put anything on it, okay? So before I put any of the other ingredients on here, I just made the 2-ingredient dough recipe, patted it down, put it in the air fryer just like it was. And Margie wants to know how long Angie has to refresh. And Loretta, I'm starving. We haven't had supper yet. This is our supper. Margie says I might use an air fryer, but if you used an oven, what temperature and how long to cook? So Margie, I'm guessing probably, I think 380 would still be okay, but probably just a few minutes longer. Just check the bottom of it. And yeah, Rita, so sliced apple cinnamon, yeah, that sounds really good. But anyway, so I haven't tried this one yet, but because I was gonna have 2 wet ingredients on here, I went ahead and cooked just the dough first on 380 for 5 minutes. Then I added all of my ingredients and then I put it back in on 380 for 10 more minutes, for 10 more, because I needed the bottom of this one to be extra firm because this has 2 tablespoons of G-Hue sugar-free barbecue sauce on it. So it has that on there first. I just smeared it around with a spoon. Then it has, let's see, a 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar Velveeta cheese. Then it has a 1/4 cup-ish of diced pineapple. And then it has a 1/4 cup of diced ham, just diced ham. And then it has 1.5, because it was the other 1.5 pieces of overcooked turkey bacon. Okay. So it's a Hawaiian pizza. Let me grab my pizza cutter. But you all understand why I'm saying that I cooked the crust first on this one, because this had, with the pineapple being wet and the having the barbecue sauce on there. Because I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I didn't put any sauce on the first one. So the first one has no sauce. It just had a little bit of spray, just a little bit of olive oil spray. But since this has been sitting here for a little while, it's firm now. Like if you tried to eat these when you first pull them out, they would fall apart. That would not be a good idea. Ooh, Loretta says, I bet that would be good on the grill. Ooh, I bet it would. And Melissa wants to know if I had any issues with the dough at first, like was it too sticky? Not as long as you put plenty of flour on your hands, okay? Ah. Excuse me while I have a moment. Oh my gosh, that one's good. Barbecue, pineapple, diced ham, and turkey bacon. Oh my gosh. Whew. My gosh, that one's good. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. And Loretta says, Kelly, you could cook for me any day. You know, it's funny. I'm not the one in the family that cooks. Okay, let me show you something real quick. Oh, because we have 2 minutes. And sorry, Desi, I almost stepped on you. Okay. Even though this has been sitting out for a few minutes, use something to take your pan out. Do not stick your hand in there. I know that's been cooling off for a minute, but do not just stick your hand in your air fryer, okay? So, whew, see, that's still very, very warm. So I'll just use tongs. But here is our garlic. This is our garlic cheesy bread. I'm not gonna drag this one out and cut it up for you all just because it's already time to go. Let me get something to pick it up with so I can show it to you. Hold on just a second. So, here it is. This is what it looks like. It's going to be even more yummy, Yeah, and Haley said, what about a breakfast one? Like eggs and bacon, tomato, and avocado. So I was going to do a breakfast one, but we had Alyssa for so long today that I didn't get to. Okay, so anyway, 2 ingredient dough. Don't be afraid of it. Super easy, super easy. Made 3 of these in like an hour. And really the longest part was cleaning up after I had made my mess. And then of course I made this one, you know, while you were standing here. So anyway, it's super easy. Y'all are gonna love it. I want to see what you made. Remember to let them cool off a little bit before you get them out so that they'll thicken up and you can pick them up. And I'll take pictures of everything and let y'all see them later. But if you are watching this later on youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. The next video is going to come up right here, so pretty please be sure and watch it. Share that with people. Do subscribe. For some reason, the subscribers have been going down lately. Don't know why, but please do subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are, let me think. So watch the next video up here. Right here is where you can subscribe, and don't forget to click that little bell so that you'll be notified when we post new videos. And if you would like to order one of the spread shirts, it is right over here. No, thank you, everyone. So everyone's saying, thank you, you're the best, you know, whatever. No, thank you all. Yeah, and night-night, everyone. Night-night, Debbie. It was so good to see you all. Kind of afraid to get Dusty up here because he's going to want some of this. But y'all have an amazing week. I want to see what you made. Don't forget your homework, and I will talk to you next week. Have a good night, and have a good week. See you later.